There are moments in history when you can feel the hinge-turning moments when a single life, a single voice, or a single act of courage changes the trajectory of a nation. Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. was one of those rare figures whose presence reshaped the moral landscape of America. His assassination in 1968 remains one of the most devastating ruptures in our national story. But every now and then, especially for those of us who grew up poor, overlooked, or pushed to the margins, it's impossible not to wonder, what if he had lived? What if he had become president? What kind of America and what kind of world might we be living in today? This isn't a political fantasy. It's a meditation on possibility. It's a reflection on what leadership rooted in compassion, courage, and moral clarity might have meant for a country still wrestling with inequality, division, and the unfinished business of justice. A president who led with moral imagination. If Dr. King had lived long enough to run for president, and if the American people had chosen him, his presidency would have been unlike any other. Not because he was perfect, but because he was guided by a rare combination of intellect, empathy, and spiritual conviction. King believed deeply in what he called the beloved community, a society where people of every race, class, and background could live together in dignity. As president, that vision would not have been a slogan. It would have been a governing philosophy. Imagine a leader who approached every policy question by asking, does this uplift the poor? Does this expand opportunity? Does this reduce suffering? Does this bring us closer to justice? That alone would have shifted the center of gravity in American politics. A different economic story for the poor and working class. You mentioned growing up poor. Millions of Americans, black, white, Latino, rural, urban, share that story. King understood poverty not as a personal failure, but as a structural one. In the final years of his life, he was organizing the Poor People's Campaign, a multiracial movement demanding economic fairness. If he had become president, that campaign would likely have become national policy. We might have seen a stronger social safety net, earlier and more robust investments in affordable housing, a national living wage decades before the idea became mainstream,